You scoundrels! I hate ninjas! Ninjas are wussies! Here's a boot up your ass! Yes, I slice balls! Slice your balls! You guys are worth nothing! Ha! That'll teach you to mess with Raposa! Respect! Respect, that's what you need to give me! Beg for mercy, beg for mercy! Yes, take this! And that! And this too! Ha! Ninja stars are for ninjas!
Welcome, citizens of the Seven Kingdoms, and to those that live beyond the walls. This is JohnRamboPresents The Show. My name is John, and I am joined by the only true heir to the throne. OJ's here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You like that?
Oh, I like that very much. I think this is going to be wonderful.
It was like a themed intro. You see that? What I'm doing there?
Oh, I love what you're doing there.
Okay, you understand. You get it.
Oh, I get it.
So last week on the show, we had an interview that I was certainly very proud of.
It was amazing.
I don't know how you feel about it.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. He was a
You also
cool
got
guy.
a lot of good feedback from people about it too, which is always a nice thing that people enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's good when you enjoy something and other people enjoyed the fact that you did it. It's kind of like the point of this, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a win-win. Like you put effort in, you get joy out, and other people get joy as well, and everyone wins.
I think that's the purpose of what we're doing here. I finally
Yes.
figured it out. So, of course, I'm speaking about our segment with Jason Charles Miller, lead singer of Godhead, and one of the top voice actors in the business today. Woo.
Don't forget his solo work on country.
Okay. Well, what's good? An extra plug there from OJ. So we got the interview was really good. We got pretty deep into the state of the music industry in 2012, which I thought was really interesting. And he's been around from the 90s, so talking about how things have changed and where things may be headed and all that. It was really, really good. And we also found out that Marilyn Manson has stuffed monkeys in his home, which is very similar to OJ's house. You have things like that.
Well, they're not real monkeys.
So I would say, it's my recommendation that you should check out this interview. And I think if you have not done it yet, then you have failed, and you now must correct your mistakes.
Oh.
You can listen to this show first and then go back. I think that might be the proper way to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So this week on the show, we don't have a guest. Do you believe this?
Oh my gosh.
It's just you and me.
I'm scared.
You're stuck with just me for the next hour and a half. Are you disappointed?
I'm frightened. I'm not supposed to be alone with you in the same room.
That is true. There are, some things that came down from courts and things like that. But I will do my best to be a proper co-host for you, sir. And if I'm doing a poor job, just let me know.
I'll do so.
I don't think it's possible that I could do a poor job.
No, neither do I.
Pigs will fly before I do a poor job. But we'll see what happens here.
The Animals album.
So there's a couple of reasons why we don't have a guest, why we're flying solo this week. Are we flying solo if there's two of us? I don't know. But the first reason is that we have a multitude of topics to talk about, including the international, worldwide, global, intercontinental premiere, Schnoz-man HolePunch, the Justice League #3.
Yeah.
It has won over the hearts of men, women, and animals everywhere. And today on the show, we'll be going deep into the bowels of this episode, give our thoughts and insights, and just kind of explain things and give some stories about recording it and all that. So,
Oh, lovely.
you don't even know what's going on. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. I'm telling not only the people, I'm telling OJ what's going on in the show too, apparently.
I'm just picturing a couple of things while we were filming that episode, and I'm laughing to myself.
All right. I'm not going to yell at you. I don't think I'm going to yell at you this time because you didn't forget to turn the mics on like last time, but whatever.
Yeah, the batteries just died in them, though.
Okay, yeah, that was the problem. So we're also going to talk about a certain HBO-produced medieval-esque series, which you may have already figured out based upon the intro today. And there may be a possible return to OJ's Dreamland. We have gone there several times. We have survived the trip. So I'm that crazy. I'm going to venture back into OJ's Dreamland and hope to come back the same,
Make sure to keep your Dream Warriors nearby.
And we're going to... Oh, jeez. We're going to do the comments and go off on whatever tangents we can find to go off on, I think, right?
Sounds good to me.
And I said there was a couple reasons why we wouldn't have a guest. The second reason, and the more accurate one, is that we were unsure as to when we would actually be recording the show this week, so I did not book a guest. We're using showbiz terms like book now. We've gone Hollywood completely.
But we haven't sold out.
Not yet. I'm looking to. If someone wants to buy, I will sell. But so we're actually recording a day early because our good friend young OJ here, he's taken it upon himself to lead the Ramborgia armies into the land called Boston this weekend. An invasion of sorts. You will be appearing at PAX East, sir. Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're talking about what you're going to be doing at PAX and all that. But for those that don't know, what exactly is PAX?
Well, PAX started out on the West Coast as the Penny Arcade Expo. Now, for those of you who know Mike Hurlick and Terry Holkins, they are the artist and writer, not necessarily in that order, behind Penny Arcade, a rather popular and famous and well-done comic strip. Also known for Tycho's very long news posts, which are very well written. And
so you've been a fan. I know you've been a fan of these guys for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, even like years and years ago, you would always go to the site and stuff.
All the time.
Yeah, you're a big fan.
Yeah. So they decided that they're big gamers, and they thought, we've got a big following. Let's make a place where gamers can go, where everybody knows your game. And
in Boston.
Eventually.
Cheers reference in Boston.
Darn right. And they had one on the West Coast a few years back, just PAX, now called PAX Prime, and they figured, yep, let's bring it to Boston, put it on the East Coast, and they made PAX East, the East Coast version, a couple years ago, and I've been there every year since it started on the East Coast. So
how many years is that?
Oh, gosh, was it 2009?
Okay.
This is the second, third, or fourth year. I don't remember, but it's...
So a lot of people go to this.
Oh, yeah, I think it takes the entire Boston Convention Center, or at least most of it.
Are you looking to meet the people while you're at PAX? Can people approach you, or you be upset if they come up to you?
Oh, I'd love if people approached me.
It's okay
I'm not
if they
going
do
there
that.
expecting it, but I'd love it.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Come say hi.
If anyone's going to PAX and you see OJ, I'm trying to think. I'm going to tell them to say something to you.
Code word?
Yes.
The rabbit is in the basement.
This is what I want you to do.
I gotta
If
write
you
this
see
down.
OJ at PAX, you go up to OJ. You don't say anything. All you say, "Hello, OJ. I would like to sample your juice."
Oh, gosh. How can I forget this?
That's all I want people to say. I think it would be pretty funny. So you're going to let us know how many people did this to you next week.
Okay, I've written myself a note that this is what I can expect people to say to me
Yes.
all weekend.
And make sure if you do it, he's in a big group with his friends. Or maybe he's talking to like a chick or something, and you just go up and really have a bizarre situation occur. So what are some of the things you're going to be doing at PAX, sir?
All right, well, I started going down through the schedule, and I realized that this thing was humongous. There are tons and tons of panels and things to do. There's gaming, free play, console, board game, everything. But
Yes.
I took a look through like some of the early stuff. And first of all, there's the Storytime with Jordan Mechner panel at 10:30 on Friday. If you guys don't know
What's that
Jordan
about?
Mechner,
I don't know. What is that about?
he's the creator of Prince of Persia.
Oh, okay, cool. Do you like the original?
The original Prince of
Or
Persia.
the whole thing.
The original Prince of Persia, and then the remake that was Sands of Time, which was amazingly successful and a wonderfully produced game.
Right.
So that's another cool thing. And I'm hoping I can make it to that panel, but I'm with a group of people, and I heard rumors that they wanted to get breakfast on Friday.
Yeah.
So there's a significant chance I'll miss that, which will make me sad, but at least I will get pancakes.
You're not selling stuff, or did you try to get a table, or
No.
what's going on? You
No,
didn't try.
No, I didn't try.
This is more for pleasure.
Summer. Yeah, this is a pleasure trip. I'm probably going to bring my camera though, so keep an
You
eye
might
out.
have some videos.
Yeah, and hopefully not lose the camera. Derp. But
Okay.
now, one thing I wished I could take part in is that at 11 a.m., stretching from 11:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m., there's Warhammer Fantasy going on, and
What's that?
it's the game. It's the game Warhammer Fantasy.
What type of
Tournament.
fantasies?
Not the sexy kind, more of the medieval kind.
I thought you were going to tell me this goes on in the hotel rooms after midnight.
Oh no, that's where it continues, if you're lucky.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. And that, my friends, is why they're called wood elves. Anyway.
What the?
If you know Warhammer Fantasy, you'll get the joke. Would you have preferred I said high elves?
I don't want to know anything about this.
Okay. Moving along.
So, well, let me ask you a question, sir. So
yes?
you're going, like you mentioned, the gentleman from Prince of Persia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there'll be other people there.
Yes.
Will you be doing some work for the show?
I would like to.
What
interview
that,
people if I get a chance, you know.
Will you be approaching people and saying you must come on this show, or there will be hell to pay?
I would love to. I was thinking of doing that. I just need to go find some cool people. And I know there's a lot here.
OJ's the man that makes the deals happen. Because without OJ, OJ opened up, got John Patrick Lowry and Ellen McLean, and opened up 1,000 doors for us. So I don't know. You have the golden tongue or something. I'm not sure what it is.
Could you say no to this face?
I guess not. I don't know. I would think I could. So that'd be really cool if you can. I'll be at home doing nothing. And while you could go and do work and try to get some guests for us.
Yeah, I'll take my business cards. And see what we can do. I'll say no. I'm not just candles, even though you can't buy the candles yet. I do more. Okay. So.
Do more.
Anyway, excuse me. Pardon me. Whew, there's dinner. So
disgusting.
There's a lot more stuff going on throughout the rest of the day. I tried for the first day or two. I tried to put down something for every time slot that I thought was interesting.
Right.
For example, now we've had some issues with reviews and stuff in the past, and our opinions on how the systems are flawed. There's a panel called Metacritic's Standardization Problem and How to Fix It, which tries to go through the numerical way that Metacritic calculates scores and creates the averages, and try to do it better.
Do you think they will fix this problem at this panel? Do you think that they will come at the end? They will go, we have revolutionized everything.
I think it's a step in the right direction, but they're still working with numbers, which might hamper them a little bit. I say go for it. See what you come out with.
Right.
And there's also a Penny Arcade question and answer session at that point, too, which is pretty sweet.
Okay.
So you hit noon, and there's a panel. There's an ongoing panel that happens a bunch of times throughout the weekend called Indie Game Development, A Day in the Life. So they get together a bunch of indie game developers, and they get to talk about what it's like, having that be your job.
Wow.
Yeah, I think those would be really interesting people to talk with, because I know there's a lot of people out there who want to do this, and it's getting easier and easier. I mean, you pick up C#, you can write games for the PC and for the Xbox pretty soon, and for Windows Phone as well. I mean, and that's just learning like one dopey programming language. It's not easy, but it's certainly doable.
Right.
So I think that that sort of panel is a really good thing, because this is another thing about PAX. If you're a game developer, you want to make your own role-playing game, your own video game, your own pen and paper, whatever, this is the place to go to talk with gamers left and right. Aside from Gen Con, of all the conventions I've been to, this is the best place for it. So keep that in mind, and we're going to find.
I think we all expect some videos from you, sir.
Yeah, now I got to bring the good camera, huh?
And who are you going? Are you going with some people?
Yeah, I'm going with my friend Pete and our friend Matt. Matt actually lives up by Boston, so he's going to be our registered driver and I guess our host for the weekend, and a bunch of his friends too. I actually went with some of them last year too. They're really cool people, a lot of fun to go with. I don't know if anyone's dressing up this year. I'm probably not, but last year my friend Pete dressed up as a gentleman of leisure from Team Fortress 2, and I dressed up as his companion, but no one really got the joke for me. They only liked him.
Dressed as his lover?
No.
Well, what does that mean?
A gentleman of leisure is a man who's got countless hats, and he wanders around the town.
He's a pimp, and a companion is his hooker.
No, it's his friend.
It's a man of leisure. He has special hats.
Yes, he has many hats.
Okay. Yes.
And my character had many hats too, but did not bring them.
This isn't one of your dreams. This is reality.
This was real life.
Okay. So give us a couple more things that are going to be doing that might be interesting.
Okay. Well, one other thing that I really like about PAX is you get a chance to see in person some people you only ever see on the internet. So 1 p.m. on Friday, Rooster Teeth is going to be there. If you don't know Rooster Teeth...
I don't know anything about it. I hear the name all the time. I don't know nothing about it.
Well, way back in the day, I believe it was our friend Kevin who introduced us to Red vs. Blue, which was...
Oh, okay.
These are the guys who made Red vs. Blue, and they've just moved on to do so much more stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I have a friend that he moved to Texas, and he's working on that stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty...
I didn't know that had anything to do with the other... Okay.
Now, another thing that I think is pretty relevant to us, our viewers, and everything is this panel here, which is at 5:30 p.m. on Friday. Video games aren't just for playing. Gameplay is spectator entertainment. And that panel is going to be done by Kevin Lin, who's the COO of Twitch TV.
Okay.
So the panel's about how people are not just playing games; they're watching other people play games for their own entertainment. You know, it's moved on. And
never heard of it.
Yeah, I know, right?
I've never heard of this.
I was just so amazed that I thought it would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's another couple funny ones at 6. The Blankety Blank panel, which takes a bunch of internet comedians, you know, funny people, and it puts
Roseanne?
them...
Is Roseanne going to be there?
No, it's people from The Escapist, Loading Ready Run, a lot of people from The Escapist, Ars Technica, some people from Activision and Vox Games.
You're up on all this stuff too. I don't know how did you find out about all these things?
I have my ways.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Cool.
I prepare stuff too sometimes.
Cool, man.
Yeah, thank you. But and it's going to be a game show. If you ever heard of the Match game show, I don't know what that is, but it's going to be that with them. So I'm picturing Hollywood Squares in my head.
Match?
Yeah, it's the game. It's called Match Game.
I don't know.
I didn't research that. I was too busy trying to find more fun things.
Is that going to have Regis with? Do you want to be a millionaire?
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Wants to be a millionaire? Regis will be at PAX.
That would be pretty funny. All right, there's one more thing on Friday that I put down. You know, just skipping ahead a little bit. At 7:30, there's 2 panels I thought were interesting. One is Design a Dungeon, which it's at 7:30, where a bunch of people who are pretty up and up in the RPG industry, some people from Wizards of the Coast, D&D, and a couple of other places, and one of the guys from The Escapist. Man, they're everywhere. They're going to design a dungeon in 1 hour. So if you're trying to get a feel for a crazy dungeon to do, this is the place to go to ask questions and see what they're doing, and then, steal the dungeon and take it home and spring it on your players. Ha ha ha.
So this is for what game?
It doesn't specify, but I'm guessing it's going to be for D&D. However,
is that like a challenging thing to do in an hour like that?
It takes me a lot longer than an hour to make a dungeon, but I'm guessing they're not going to... What they're going to do is probably build the atmosphere.
Right.
Maybe the sort of classes of enemies or traps you'd find, like, are there going to be lizard men here? Are there going to be bugs? Blah, blah, blah. That sort of stuff. Not get into the specifics of how strong is this, how much damage does it do, blah, blah, blah. Just work it out, and create a really interesting setting for players to go through. Then maybe go into that stuff a little bit at the end is my guess, but yeah, it sounds like...
So you're going to be... At what point are you going to be, at Cloud9, just in heaven here? What time does this happen for you?
Probably as soon as I get the pancakes.
Would it happen before? Has it already happened before this point, or is it going to be at this point?
It's going to be when I get there.
The dungeon creation is just going to put you over the top.
Oh man,
that's just what's going to do it for you.
That could do it. Or honestly, I'm going to start going crazy once I get in there, get my bag o' swag, and get my lanyard and leave the lines and say, "All right, it's time to do this."
Good. I hope you have an excellent time.
Thank you.
I think you definitely deserve it. I definitely put you through some difficult times, which we'll talk about later. But all right, so what's going on? Give us a couple more. Just All
right. Now the big things, as always, are the concerts. Friday night at 8:30, we've got Supercommuter, the Mini Bosses, Metroid Metal, and Proto Men. Now, I just got to say, I haven't heard Supercommuter before. The Mini Bosses are awesome. They do some really good video game themes, redone. Metroid Metal does a similar thing, but it's obviously more metal.
I thought you saw Metroid Metal already.
I did. They were pretty cool. I haven't seen Supercommuter, I said. Yeah. And then the Proto Men will be there. Now, the Proto Men are writing a Mega Man rock opera.
Wow.
And if my sources are correct, they're doing all of Act 2 of the rock opera at the concert. I don't know if they're really doing all of it, but I was listening to it earlier today, and it's really good. It's good stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Another couple things. There's a Mega 64 panel on Saturday at 2:30. Mega 64 does some really good internet, kind of improv everywhere style comedy.
So this convention more about the internet styled things, or is it about it's not like Comic-Con, where it's more of the mainstream, Avengers and stuff like that?
There's a lot of internet things.
Yeah.
But while this is going on, there's rooms just filled with people playing games, constantly playing games. You go to the show floor, which isn't really listed on the panel list, and it's just game developers, game companies. If you look at the map of this place, I mean, here, let me read a couple of things off for you. Riot Games, the guys who make League of Legends. There's just a whole Xbox section. Ubisoft, 2K Games, Capcom, Square Enix.
Capcom will charge you $10 to get through their booth. You have to download get a special DLC to your phone.
Yeah.
That is $10, allows you to get into the Capcom booth. And then you will find out that in this download there's 10 characters that you cannot access.
You enter
only
the booth,
later on you can get them.
You enter the booth and they say, and it's just an empty and it's a room covered in tarps, and they say, "Oh, it's just an empty room. There's no DLC available yet, but in a few months you gave us $10 and the room won't be empty anymore." And you just peek under the tarp and you're like, "There's stuff here the whole time."
All right, well done.
All right, thank you. Now, one quick.
Got them. We got those bastards. Anyway, screwed them.
After all we've given them,
we screwed them over.
Now, there's a really interesting panel at 5:30 on Saturday. I just want to throw out there if we still got time for this.
Yeah, let's move along here.
All right, it's called Plot versus Play: The Duality of Modern Game Design. It's about how you can really tell a story to somebody who kind of controls how it happens. I mean, how do you get the narrative to go together with the actual physical playing of the game and stuff? Like, how do cutscenes break it up? Stuff like that. It's going to have BioShock's creator Ken Levine, along with people from Joystick and Kotaku.
Wow.
And I mean, BioShock, for all of you who've played it, you know that the narrative is blended completely, perfectly well with the gameplay.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
So if you guys aren't doing anything else at 5:30, I highly recommend you see this. It sounds amazing.
It's a good topic because a lot of games pull you out. All of a sudden, here's the cutscene.
Yeah.
Completely pulls you out of the, atmosphere and feel of the game you're playing.
I mean, nothing on Metal Gear, but sometimes I get the feeling that the game developers are mad at you for ruining their movie. Okay, I took that joke from somewhere else, but you get the picture. Like, sometimes the cutscenes just go on and on. Like, Final Fantasy X was sweet. Every now and then, the cutscenes kind of got in the middle of me trying to play the game.
Well, now you're just being too negative.
Yeah, whatever. All right.
Now you're just nitpicking.
Yeah, I know.
All
right, if you want to skip ahead to something pretty amazing...
Yes, I do.
There's the Saturday night concerts.
Okay, what do you got?
Now, this is going to be where it gets really crazy. The Saturday night concert starts at 8:30 p.m. and goes till 2 a.m.
Wow. And are you going to do this whole thing?
I did last year.
Do you stand up the whole time? What do you do?
You stand up. I mean, you sit down when there's breaks between bands.
Are you going to do crazy headbanging like you did at MagFest?
Oh, you know it. Yeah. Now, the bands here are in an interesting order. It's slightly different from last year. So what we've got, if they're in the order they're listed here, we've got VGO, Video Game Orchestra #1. Amazing band. I mean, they've got a full orchestra, though they don't usually bring all of them to PAX. Really good stuff. They were there last year. It was amazing.
All right.
Then they had Paul and Storm, two fellows I'd never heard of before PAX. And honestly, I was really confused when two dudes walked out. I was expecting somebody to fly out shooting lightning, but that's just me. And they do comedy. They make fun of pop culture a lot. It's kind of like a Weird Al meets...
Boys to Men.
Okay, let's go with that. It's pretty funny stuff. And I bought their T-shirts, and they're in, I bought on USB drive all their music last year, and it's all good. I love it.
Is Meatloaf going to be there?
I don't think so, but we've got someone better.
What do you got?
Jonathan Colton is back.
Okay.
If you guys don't know Jonathan Colton, he's most well known in the gamer community for writing the song "Still Alive" for Portal.
Oh,
yeah.
You got to meet him, then you'll know the writer and the performer.
Yeah, he's a great musician. He's hilarious. He writes a lot of songs that get on with nerd culture. For example, he wrote the song "Code Monkeys," which was eventually used for the show Code Monkeys.
Yeah, I like that show.
Yeah. He's done a lot of great stuff, and he's done a lot of hard work to get himself to where he is, and I'm really impressed by him. And then I must confess, I don't know too much about MC Frontalot, who's the last performer listed. However, I know he's a really good friend to the Penny Arcade folks, so I think you're going to be in for a treat.
Sir Mix-a-Lot's going to be there?
MC Frontalot.
Sir Mix-a-Lot. He did I Like Big Butts, and I Cannot Lie.
Oh, no.
His other brothers cannot deny. What else you got?
All right. Now, what's sad is that if you want to see an evening with Loading Ready Run, some of the guys from Escapist, they do Unskippable, Feed Bus, Bus for Hope, and stuff like that. That's at 10 p.m., so you'd have to leave the concerts. I just find these guys hilarious. That's all I can say. Now, when you get to... we skipped most of Saturday. I mean, the big thing is really the concert. Unless you want to see at 7 p.m. How to Not Succeed as a Freelance Game Journalist.
How to Not Succeed.
Yeah, so...
I approve of that panel.
Yeah. So we get on to Sunday, and Sunday is usually the quietest day. And this is when, a lot of people have already gone home from Saturday. Some people flew in. They got to fly out, so they're going to leave early. This runs from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And there's some interesting stuff. For example, at 11 a.m., you can get autographs from Tycho and Gabe. 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. What the?
Do they charge you, or do they charge you for that?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Is it more camel charges? What, $100?
I don't know. I mean, I got Lou Ferrigno's
they charge you more camel money
for 30, I think.
Okay.
I ran into them last year to Gabe in the halls, and he just signed my badge for me. So
that's cool.
So
nice guy.
Yeah, he really is. So there's another one: Real RPGs, Sexuality, Religion, and Race in Design and Play at 11:30 to 12:30. That's kind of I was a little unsure of what that was going to be like, but it looks like it's about how to make a diverse RPG setting.
RPGs, sex with different races.
I think it's.
What did you say?
Real RPGs, Sexuality, Religion, and Race in Design and Play. Now, what this is about is trying to make a really diverse campaign setting for an RPG, or if you want to make a game about something that's a little tough. These are some questions that if you have any questions,
if you want to make a sex RPG, they'll help you.
That's
what you're saying.
Not what I'm saying.
I don't know what this is about.
Yeah, you got to read the description. It's a little
okay.
At 12:30 p.m., there's an extended play live show taping.
Are you going to go to that?
I'm tempted.
I think you should go, man.
I would go if they called it extended play instead of X play. No offense.
Not because it's a great show or anything, just because I think it's part of your history. Because I used to make you watch the show.
You didn't make me watch it. I enjoyed. I mean, yes, you made me watch it.
Simply because you were kind of upset about the show, so I'd always kind of make you watch the show.
I was sad when it changed its name. I thought Adam Sessler was pretty funny. I must have been a strange teenager.
I want them on the show. You have to talk. You sweet talk Morgan Webb. She's coming on in 2 weeks. That's your mission.
I must say. I mean, I did get a kick out of when they were destroying the Xbox, the GameCube, and the PlayStation 2. That was a pretty fun segment.
I used to watch the show years. It's been on forever at this point. But I used to watch it years and years ago because it was kind of like one of the first video game things on TV.
Mm-hmm.
There really isn't many now,
No.
And none of them are really good. But if you love games, I was like, oh, games are on TV. Okay, that was cool in 2005, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it finally happened, that was pretty sweet.
Right.
Now Sunday is kind of quiet. I mean, there's How D&D Saved My Life and How It Could Save Yours at 1 p.m. If you ever had to explain to somebody why D&D is important to you, go to that panel. They'll tell you. Yay. That's pretty cool. But hopefully you're not in a position where somebody...
Where's the OJ panel? Will OJ have a panel someday? What would you do if you had your own panel? What would it be about?
I'd probably... It would have a large question and answer session. Not that I think people have too much about me they'd like to know. But I'd like to talk about my thoughts on, I guess, strategy gaming, RPGs, pen and paper, video games. You know, basically all my hobbies, my opinions on them, and then seeing what people think of that and asking me questions. I don't know. I'm just throwing this off the cuff, man.
Okay. That sounds good. There's no wrong answer here. It's your panel. You can say whatever you want.
Well, the wrong answer is the panel that nobody comes to.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're going to have a great time at PAX.
I hope so.
I don't know what the hell half the stuff you're talking about is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I'm sure, you're going to have fun, and a lot of people that listen to the show will understand what it is.
I hope you guys do.
And if you see OJ, definitely go up to him.
And say...
And you will say, hello, I would like to sample your juice. OJ, I would like to sample your juice. And I want to know how it goes.
Okay, should I take a little notebook and write down every time this happens?
Yeah, write down, and then I want to know what you said back.
Oh, okay. Is that their job?
I don't know if I trust you. I want people that do it to verify it with me. You send me a message saying I actually went up to OJ and said it, and this is what he said to me.
Okay.
So, you should have a good time though. It sounds fun.
Oh, I love to. Thank you very much. I will give
Looking forward to getting out and going to a convention soon.
Yeah.
I wasn't really up for PAX, but eventually I think we'll get somewhere, right?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Anything else you want to add about it, or?
Just everyone remember the basic, PAX etiquette. Have fun, be nice to everybody, don't be a jerk, and watch out for PAX Box.
We might see some videos on your channel.
Hopefully.
Which is Fresh OJ Some Pulp.
Yeah, it's been a little quiet lately. I've been focusing a wee bit too much on other projects, which you may have seen recently.
Yeah, we're pretty busy, man. I'm pretty beat.
Live!
So, I don't have a good segue into this segment here. I'm trying to think of some way to do this.
Just say pie. Anything follows pie.
It doesn't make it. There's no way to do it. It's impossible. Yeah, there's no way to possibly do this.
Oh, come on.
So, I think it was like 2 weeks ago we were filming Schnoz-man HolePunch, or Stayed at Your Place.
There's a perfect way to segue into that.
Go ahead. What is it?
About the fact that I said that I've been working on other projects, some of which you may have seen soon.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I set you up.
Well, you inadvertently did. So
that was completely unfair.
Speaking of other projects, I think it was 2 weeks ago we were filming Schnoz-man HolePunch, and I stayed at your place.
Yes.
And you were like, "Hey, I got this thing here," and you busted out the Blu-ray, Season 1 Game of Thrones.
Yep.
And you're like, "Let's watch an episode." So I was like, "All right, it's cool." I really enjoyed it a lot, and it's kind of funny because I actually have HBO now. I recently just got HBO, and because there's some good stuff on there. I really like the show Eastbound and Down, which is probably my favorite show right now. It's starring Danny McBride. It's a great comedy show.
He's a pretty funny guy.
Yeah, I love it. This is like my favorite show ever. So like, the season 3 was coming out for that. So I'm like, I'll get HBO, and I got it. And I know Game of Thrones was on there, but like I never got around to seeing it. And I was like, I missed a bunch of episodes,
Yeah.
So I didn't get into it. And then I watched it with you. I was like, all right, I'm going to watch this thing now. And I watched it all on demand. Over like the last week, I watched 11 episodes.
And that's why you're tired.
No, I've been doing a lot of stuff. But I mean, it's like an hour. It's like an hour an episode, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And that's a great freaking show.
It is so well done.
So what do you have to say about the whole thing? Did you read the books?
Well, Percival, having read the books, I must say that
You read all the books?
I've read all the books that have been released.
See, I would like to read the books. I was actually thinking about doing it.
Yeah.
They're just giant books, and I'm like, I don't know about that.
Well, you don't have to attack the thing all at once.
Yeah, it's gonna take forever. But the seasons, I think, it's probably gonna be like 5 seasons or 6 seasons. People are saying.
I think there's supposed to be 7 books in the
Oh,
end.
wow.
We're on book 5. There's, I think, 2 more books left, maybe 3 at most.
Oh, so there's more books coming.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so you've got a lot of time. If you started reading now, if you did 1 book a year,
Yeah.
you'd be fine.
I don't know. And then so like the show's gonna be on for like years, basically.
If we're lucky, if everyone keeps watching.
That's pretty awesome.
Oh, great.
I like to watch stuff when it's like over. And I get all the DVDs.
Well, I'll see you in 2017.
Because I really dislike, waiting for the new episodes, and then you kind of forget what happened last time.
Last time on Game of Thrones Z.
Well, they do that, but I like to get shows like 5 years after they're gone, and just watch the whole run.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But that's cool though. I really love the show. It's like amazing production value. It's basically like a movie, Hollywood-esque, something you'd see in the theater, and
Oh, yeah, it's good production values.
some great stuff. My favorite character is the Half Man.
Tyrion, yes.
I have a problem with the names. That's one thing. Like I never remember. Like I just know the characters. Well, the names are just like there's like this guy, and then like I can't get them all straight sometimes.
Yeah.
But he's awesome, and he's the best character. And there's this show that I like. It's called it was called Life's Too Short.
Oh no.
It was a Ricky Gervais show about. It was like a mockumentary about a little person that was an actor.
Huh.
And like and the show is all about like all these like stupid roles that little people get in Hollywood.
Yeah.
They always have to be like a you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, they always get stuck playing elves and dwarves. And
Yeah, they have to play like elves or whatever.
R2D2.
R2D2. Ewoks was the joke, I think, in the show. They have to like play these stupid characters. So I see this dude in Game of Thrones. I'm like, like this. I always think of that show because it's like this is everything they were talking about in that show. Like how a dwarf can play any role and be a great character and really finally some justice here.
Well, mad props to Peter Dinklage for doing an amazing job with the character.
Yeah, that guy's a monster, man. All the actors are just beasts in this thing.
Yeah, there's, it's really just, I don't even know how to describe when you read a book and then you see, a visual version of what you've gone through.
Yes.
And it just works.
That's why people that I've talked to that read the books say it's very close. It's like extremely close to the book. So that's cool.
Oh, it's great. I mean, I'm scared that they're going to diverge a little bit. But
there probably will be some, but I mean, it seems like they're trying their best.
Oh, yeah.
So
I just wonder if they're going to do the anime thing where, looks like the TV series has caught up with the written part. Let's just go do our own thing. Yay!
Right. I don't know. It seems like they're doing it pretty smart. I love the series because things happen.
It's not just
what I mean by that.
Yeah.
What I mean by that, if you look, people like main characters go down. Like main characters die, and you're like, oh crap, really?
Yeah.
Like people that you think are going to be in there for the whole thing, all of a sudden are killed.
Yeah, there's no safety net.
Yeah, stuff actually goes down, which I really really enjoy.
You don't have a cloak and vulnerability just for being in the show.
Yeah, I mean, there's other stuff out there where like the characters are supposed to be going through this insane thing that's like almost impossible to get through, and then like all 7 of them survive or something at the end.
Oh yeah, it's just kind of a cop out sometimes.
Yeah, well, people get attached to characters and you don't want to kill them off.
Yeah,
but, that's not reality.
Yeah, and
bad things happen.
And it's not like he's killing people. Well, at least for now, just for the sake of killing them either.
Yeah, you're right. It's done in an intelligent way.
Yeah, and you could believe it. That's the important thing. When people die or do not die, you can believe it. It's plausible.
And I think I watched season 2, just started. I watched the first episode.
Yeah, I missed it.
I could actually show it to you because Xbox came out with the app for Xfinity.
Nice.
So I have Xfinity, it's my cable. So what I could do is all I have to do is go into your Xbox, I'll log in, and then I can access all of the on-demand stuff through the Xbox.
That's amazing.
Which is pretty sweet.
Watch all the things. Oh, sorry.
So
I was thinking about
pay me money, then I'll allow you to watch the episode.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a great show. I mean, it's always cool when there's like something good to watch. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's the thing you got. I mean, the show's got everything. It's got politics, yay, sword fights, action, a little bit of some fantasy. I don't know what's going on here, and then there's the naked people. So
yeah, I was about to say that. That's a little like some of that stuff is just kind of. That's one of the. I'm not complaining about it because it's always fun to watch, but some of it's a little out of place. And like it's like, what is it really? Is there we like a lesbian scene here? Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Oh well, that happened in the book.
And then it's like, do we really need the scene where like the chick wants to be on top of the dude and not, get bent over? Like
that's actually really important to her character, though.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's some of it's just like really we needed to have that, Like,
yeah, a little bit. I mean, sometimes it's a little excessive, and there's a couple scenes where in the book it's so understated, but in the show it's kind of hard to make it not obvious.
Yeah. The lesbian scene though, and like they're the chick's doing her thing, and then the guy watching, he's like play with her ass. Then she does it, but it's like that's in the book, really.
Oh, I might have been thinking of a different lesbian scene.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know if that was necessary.
I don't remember that.
I'm not complaining. It's fun. It's people like that kind of thing.
Oh gosh,
so,
yeah,
I understand that.
Great show.
It's a great show. I'll keep watching.
Let us know what you think if you've seen it. Just no spoilers. I gotta try and be good about that because I almost messed up really badly before.
I would have edited you out.
Thanks.
So I think it's now time for our segment of the show that is currently being studied and explored by the top psychologists, psychiatrists, and mathematicians across the globe. Join us now as we return to OJ's Dreamland. What do we got?
All right. Now, this one, I actually don't even remember if I've ever written this one down because I just didn't have to. This one, I'm praying that I didn't say this in an earlier episode of the show before we started doing the dream segment, but John says he doesn't remember it, so...
We've only done it. We only did 2 weeks.
Right, but I just could swear I mentioned it someday in the past.
Okay.
For now. But if this is a repeat... My apologies, guys, but I'm pretty sure John's analysis will be brand new.
Probably not.
So, I'm at my old apartment in Rochester, New York, and this is a few years ago, a little bit after the time from the last dream segment that I'd mentioned. And I'm asleep, and I don't remember what we've been doing. I think we'd played some board games the night before, or whatever. I had a couple of friends who lived in the area, so I dreamt that my friend Thomas called me to ask, hey, you want to come over to our apartment? Amanda's making pancakes. And I was like, sweet, pancakes. I love pancakes. So I'm like, okay. So I got up and walked over to their apartment, and it wasn't terribly weird of a walk. It seemed pretty legit. Like, it seemed like I was where I was. I was walking to their apartment, not like... No craziness, no nonsense, whatever.
It was the exact correct path.
Pretty close. I mean, unless the sky was a little grayer than normal, but
right.
Okay.
Okay.
I get into their apartment, and it's huge. This place is gigantic. It's not the one-bedroom place they're living in, let me tell you. This place has hardwood floors made out of either, really good, kind of an orangey wood. I mean, if it was darker, I'd say it was mahogany, because it seemed like it was really well done. We walk in there, and not only is the place, got nice all hardwood floors, it's gorgeous, it's gigantic. There's a giant hot tub in the middle of the living room.
Wow, yeah.
Also made of wood.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool. So we wander over by the hot tub. I'm like, this is pretty sweet. And I haven't even had the pancakes yet. And the water starts overflowing, like all over the apartment. And they're like, I don't care, it's cool. Nobody seems to mind. And as I start to get perturbed by this occurrence, Thomas and Amanda go, hey, John, pancakes are ready. I walk over to the table. Also a very nice hardwood. Very nice. Table's set. It's kind of an oval table. Like, it's, flat, straight on the edges. And then, the head and foot of the table are rounded. And I look down at my plate, and I look at the pancake. It looks pretty normal. But for some reason, I just know these are not normal pancakes. These are pancakes that can raise the dead. And I'm sitting here like, what am I supposed to do now? I don't want
dead?
I don't know. I just knew there were pancakes that could raise the dead.
Why would that matter?
I don't know. And I'll tell you one thing. I actually eventually did try the pancake. I was like, well, I can't be rude. I don't even remember if there was syrup or butter, which you kind of need for pancakes. But I tried the pancake. It tasted like packing foam. It was just the driest.
Yeah, because it's for the dead, not for you. By the way, how the hell does a dead person eat a pancake?
I think you shove it in his mouth and make him chew.
How can... No, the parts don't work.
Hey, whose subconscious is this?
I guess you could, like, liquefy it and inject it into them? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, you just put it in their mouth. Maybe it raises the dead just from entering their body somehow.
Okay, so what else happens?
So, I'm pretty sure there was going to be some more crazy stuff going on. But my phone rang and I woke up. I picked up the phone. Hey, John, it's Thomas. You want to come over? Amanda's making pancakes. I laughed for a good 5 minutes.
Is that true? And
yeah,
did you
that
go?
is completely true.
And you went and had the pancakes.
I went and had pancakes. Their apartment was normal. There was no hot tub. The pancakes were complete. Oh my gosh, Amanda's pancakes. Dude, she doesn't just make them like pouring them on a griddle. She puts like an inch or a half inch of oil in the pan. Like, the pancakes are like floating on top of the oil and she's flipping them over. They were effing amazing.
And she puts the raising the dead ingredients.
I think she omitted them after I woke up.
It's kind of odd because all your dreams are based upon what's going on in reality,
But that's the thing. There was no prior plan for pancakes.
But you've done it before. It's not like this was the first time.
That I dreamt something and then it happened?
No. Like, you had the pancakes before.
No, I'd never had her pancakes before.
That's bizarre.
This was the first time that she said she made pancakes. I was shocked. So
you had a dream she made pancakes.
She
never mentioned to you ever anything about pancakes ever.
I don't remember her talking about pancakes. She cooks other stuff, man. She's not a big breakfast person.
But you had a dream she cooked the pancakes. This is just hurting my brain so much. You had a dream that she cooked pancakes, but you never mentioned anything about, or never did it before, and she never mentioned anything about pancakes ever before.
Not that I can remember.
Then you're woken up by a call of her saying, "I made pancakes for you."
Like, her boyfriend...
I think they gave you drugs. I swear to God, I don't think this is a dream. I think this was a hallucination. That they tried to mess with your head. That's what I think. I don't know if I can analyze this.
It legitimately happened.
I don't know. That's bizarre.
It's not the first time it's happened. Oh, well, actually, no, that was the first time it happened. It's not the last time it's happened. Dang it.
First of all, I think you have a fear of abandonment. which would be the hot tub. Because all you want is to get into a nice warm tub with other people. And be close to them.
Okay.
And what I've done here is I have a list of psychiatric conditions that I've just brought up. I've looked it over. In a matter of seconds I've done this. I've looked over the entire list of thousands of terms. And what you have, I see it right here, it's called Wendigo. Is a culture bound... Are you looking something up?
No, I'm just like...
Here you're clicking, alright. You have Wendigo, John, is a culture-bound disorder which involves an intense craving for human flesh and the fear that one will turn into a cannibal. This once occurred frequently among Algonquin Indian cultures, though has declined with Native American urbanization. That is what you now have. And there is no hope for a cure. This is something you'll have to live with. And we will now move on.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I don't even... I don't know what to say at this point to that.
Okay. Very well. Let's move on to the comments, sir.
Sure. I will just say that I don't know why you thought the fact I dreamt that some dude called me and asked me about pancakes, and then he called me and asked me about pancakes. I'm just surprised that you didn't focus on that. But that's okay.
No, that has nothing to do with it. See, like, if you don't have my expertise, if you're someone without my training, that is what you would be caught up on. But people like me and my level of analysis can get deeper below the surface level. That would be like looking at a book and just staring at the cover and not opening the pages and seeing what's inside of them.
But it's a really interesting cover. I mean, I predicted the future in my dream.
The cover means nothing.
Fine. All right.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, if you predicted something important, that'd probably, be excited for you and say you should try to help humanity. But all you did was predicted that you're shoving pancakes into your face, which doesn't really benefit anyone. So I don't know if that's something to really care about.
There's no sense arguing with you.
You know what I'm saying here?
Yes, I know what you're saying.
All right,
Let's move on to comments.
I guess you have the ability to predict when you'll be stuffing your face with food. Congratulations. You want me to send you a medal or something?
Is it a chocolate medal?
Why don't you tell us what your dream is tonight, and maybe you'll know. You'll know you'll know what type of food I mailed you.
Lovely. You'll hear it here first.
Yeah.
Okay. So, comments. This one's from the Jaquan22. Dear OJ, have you ever caught yourself singing, "And if you love evil, they're going to F your face"? Censored it for you. I get stuck singing that all the time, but I don't say the F word. I just censor it out all the time. And
do you hear the F word in your head, or you just censor it out?
Oh, I hear it in my head.
Okay.
I hear it in my head all the time, dude.
I didn't write it out.
Yeah.
In the video, because I think it's different hearing it and different seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes any sense, but
I wonder if when people see it with the star in it, they're going to think that, oh no, he didn't actually say it, he censored it. It's an interesting thought. But an amusing thing is that one of my friends at work, who sits to my left, every now and then throughout the day, he's like, "Schnoz-man HolePunch."
He likes it.
He loves the theme, man.
That's awesome.
He loves it, dude. He's singing it all the time. He just walks by, he's like, "Schnoz-man HolePunch."
I think I can't do his voice. I think I had that theme done before I think we had the concept and the character names, obviously, but I don't think we had actually done the episodes.
Yeah, no. You had it done by the first episode.
And then as soon as I got the song, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think it was actually the song was done before we wrote stuff.
Yeah, that sounds right, actually.
So after I came up with the song, I was like, "Oh, we got to do it now." Well, we got the song. You got to do it now.
Yeah.
So,
phew.
You got a great theme song. You got to do a show.
That's like putting the cart before the horse, but it's like a rocket cart, so it just goes.
Right. Our theme song runs at the end of the shows. What do you think about that? I like that.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. I mean, you get to the end and you just have this nice, refreshing, here it comes.
Right.
It's nice. It gives it a nice, nice bit of closure.
It doesn't really tell you. There's no credits. It doesn't really tell you anything.
Yeah, well, it reminds you that HolePunch doesn't do well with that puddle.
That was a great shot, man. We'll talk about this stuff later, but
okay.
That just worked really well. So, certain things just fell into place so well with it. I'm really quite happy with it.
Me too.
So, good.
All right.
Well, glad. You'll have a dream about pancakes and then wake up and someone will serve you pancakes and you'll be really happy.
Until I realize, how'd you get in my house?
You wouldn't care.
Okay. All right, so we got one here from Lone Stormtrooper. This is a poem. I will attempt to do it justice. And now it is time for my second requiem, a poem of nothing but love. To a show which feels just like opium, because it is a drug. I know that John is straight edge, so drugs he does detest. But the addiction I have for the show is one I cannot prevent. You take the good, you take the bad, and there you have life. But not in the land of Ramboholics, where there is no hate or strife. I cannot think of much more to say, so here I shall end, but not without saying how I love you two as friends.
I love Lone Stormtrooper as a friend.
Very well done, Lone Stormtrooper. You are my hero.
I don't love him more than a friend, but as a friend, I do love him.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to describe it.
Yes.
Very well done.
As I love many of the Ramborgia members, and you know who you are. We have spoken before.
Of many things.
There's a lot of love here. What I want to do, actually, is a good time to talk about this. I didn't even plan this out, but I definitely want to do an episode where we have like several people on that are basically, that are listeners, And I have contacted a few people about doing that too, so we'll give everyone give each person 15 minutes probably, and just have like the whole show just built that way.
Wow.
We'll do maybe 2 hours worth,
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, so we're going to do that eventually. I don't know when. I'll have to figure that out.
We'll find a time.
It is something that will happen.
This will happen.
Yes.
All right, well, here's another comment. Rambo is one charismatic mother effer. In fact, I probably would let him F my mother. From PloopTube.
That is a great honor. In olden times, of course, fathers would set up their daughters with various people. Make certain deals, or just give them away as a sign of respect, right?
Yeah, well, they'd have to give you stuff, too, with the daughter, but yeah.
Well, yeah. Sometimes they would just trade them for goods and things, right?
Yeah, but you would give them some goods, too, I think. It would be part of the trade.
But to offer up your own mother, that is the ultimate sign of respect, I believe. Imagine that.
I mean, who's more important to you than your mother?
Yeah,
well,
right.
I guess John Rambo in this case, but
that is the best. This is the greatest award I've ever won in my life.
If you don't know,
someone's mother.
Well, if you haven't heard the Lonely Island song "Mother Lover," it seems relevant now.
Okay, yeah. Right on. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Amazing, PloopTube. Amazing.
Yes, thank you, sir.
All right. Well, here's one from M.
I'll send you my address. I'll send her my address soon.
We expect a full report. All right.
Let's see video.
Green and grainy with night vision on.
Yeah.
Lovely. All right. So here's one from Mzilla911. I'm starting a position with a marketing company where I have the potential to start a business and make as much money as I want. Of course, there's people who down-talk the opportunity and say that I can't do it, but I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I want to accomplish. Staying ballsy is the key. I will inform you of my success. Smiley face.
Yes, another example of the StayBallsy lifestyle working for someone. There's been many examples. Is an undefeated practice at this point. So we're starting a marketing company. I think we could use some marketing, I think, right?
Hey, it couldn't hurt.
So I wish you all the best, sir. And if you want to take on your first clients, please let us know. I think we do. I think we could use some of that.
That would be pretty sweet, man.
Right?
Yeah.
So, that's awesome, though.
Yeah, please let us know. Let us know about your success down the line.
Like, why do people tell you can't do something? Or maybe they don't want to see you succeed.
I mean, what good does that do for anybody?
Well, I think there's reasons why people do those things. I think a lot of it is their own insecurities. They go, "Well, I'm not confident in myself to accomplish or do what I want to do," right?
Yeah.
So I see someone else who is fearless, who is working and doing, what they want to do, and it pisses them off. They go, well, how come I'm not that strong? Why can't I do that? I have to try to tear that person down now.
If he can do that and I can't, what does that say about me? They don't want to think about it.
Basically, it makes them feel bad.
Yeah.
And about themselves, and they just take it out on you. So you can't listen to that.
No, I mean,
because at the end of the day, they want to be you. They don't have the guts to do it.
I mean, if you see somebody doing something, you gotta just support them. I mean, and then and that should get you thinking about yourself and how you can support yourself too.
And some people are just very insecure, and if you're not doing what they do, or think the way that they think, then that freaks them out. Why isn't this person think the way I do? Is what I think wrong?
No, I can't be wrong. They must be wrong, and I have to tell them now.
They're wrong.
Yeah.
Fall in line. So that's great, though. I wish you all the best. Excellent stuff.
Well, here's another similar one. I live in England, and I had my college interview. And as I was walking to the college, I was listening to the show. I did not have very high grades, so I relied on my personality. I busted in there all ballsy, and they granted me a place. I was so happy. I owe it all to you guys, and as I'm joining the army, I need the ballsiness to stay, so thank you so much. P.S. Keep your balls zicky, my friends. From Realm of Mad God.
Thank you, sir, for your great message.
Mm.
I wish you all the best, and definitely, stay in touch with us, and
yeah.
is there anything we do to help you out on your journey here?
Yeah, best of luck to you. I mean,
best of luck, sir.
Have the best time you can,
And thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we've got now, John, is this one supposed to be anonymous or no?
No.
Okay.
This was taken from the comments section.
All right, this one's from Dude Guy 1354. This is a question for John here.
Also, the role of Mad God. This goes back to our whole conversation about confidence and all that. Relying on personality and confidence and accomplishing things.
Charisma.
Great things. Exactly.
If it didn't count, it wouldn't be its own stat in D&D.
And we all have, everyone has weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's things you're good at and things you're bad at. So, yeah, you have bad grades, but you can rely on something else to get you through it.
Exactly.
Like we all have our talents, and sometimes you got to focus on that.
Yeah, everybody's a little bit min-maxed, and you can't really fret about it.
Right. Now, I don't think anyone's, be perfect in everything.
No.
The key is to try not to suck at everything. Try to find one thing to cultivate. And
make sure it's something, find something you enjoy to cultivate. It doesn't matter if you're good at it, as long as you're having fun, right?
All right.
I still play fighting games sometimes.
Let's get this other one here.
All right. So, on to Dude Guy 1354's question for John. John, I have accomplished one of my dreams.
Your name is
going
John,
out
too.
with a girl. Oh, okay. John, ambiguous as to which one. I have accomplished one of my dreams. I'm going out with a girl. We've been best friends since I don't even know when. We love each other, but her mom hates me, and my mom hates her, so we need to keep this secret. Also, I'm 16 and she's 15, and my mom says I can't get a girlfriend until I'm 17, and she can't go out until she's 16. Any ideas?
Is it not the irony of life that you accomplish your dream, but then you are only faced with a whole new set of problems because of it? That's kind of funny, because nothing in life is really ever that simple.
No.
That's why you have to enjoy every day, because I think you see people, and some people that you meet have this mindset, like, I have to be here, or have to be doing this before I can be happy, right?
Yeah.
There's always problems no matter what you're doing, and you can only improve things, right? So I think it's important to enjoy every day and not focus so much on, because we talk a lot about accomplishing goals and things like that.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy the journey to get there as well.
Definitely.
It's not because, like we said, it's not like everything's perfect ever, So
Nope.
As far as what he said, I'm going to kind of go in a different direction with this one here, right?
Yeah.
He's having all these different problems and things. At your age, this kind of stuff is always crazy and weird, and that's because you've never done it before, and you're basically figuring it all out,
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do it perfectly because you're learning how to do all this stuff and be in a relationship and do all these things. My advice is to enjoy the wackiness of it all, because someday you're going to be, hopefully you won't be, but it's quite possible that someday you're going to be an adult, and you're going to be in a very tame, boring relationship with someone. I hate to put it that way, but that's what kind of happens when you get older, and but I'm not speaking from experience. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm just saying, based on things I've seen. But I think you should embrace the craziness of this time. Because you only go through it one time. You're only that young once, and kind of embrace it and go with it, and realize that it's better to have that going on than a really boring thing later on. So
Yeah.
I don't specifically know why your parents don't like each of you, but it sounds to me like maybe they think you're too young to be doing this. That's what it seems like.
It. Yeah.
Right. So that's been going on between parents and kids since forever. It's just how it is, and you can get through it. I don't think you need her parents to like you. It would be easier if they did, but you don't need to be their like your mom's friend, right? That's not really necessary. You can get through it. Just make sure it doesn't turn into some kind of Romeo and Juliet type situation.
Yeah. That would be.
But I don't know. What do you have to add about this?
I don't know. Well, talking about like, one thing is a lot of people would love to have that element of danger just to make things exciting. But
that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's an ideal situation or that.
No.
You know, but it's just how it is. When you're 16, 15 years old,
you just got to make the most of it. I mean, it's rough, man. I mean, like that. There's going to be times when your significant other's parents do not like you, and vice versa. But I mean,
I've never experienced that in my life.
Well, everyone likes you, John.
Well, actually, I have a couple times.
Okay, almost everyone likes you, John. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I mean, you've been best friends forever. I don't see why anyone's parents would have a problem. I mean, I know that's not the issue, but I just find that
Well, I would assume that when he wrote that, I think maybe they think they're too young to be doing this kind of stuff.
Well, which
is what happens. It's just pretty typical, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. That's
not out of the ordinary.
You know, just enjoy each other's company and stuff, and don't worry too much about what the other people are going to think. As long as you're not doing anything like that's going to cause serious problems. I mean,
yeah, that's the main thing is that you're together and having a good time, and you know, it's not the ideal situation. It's pretty crazy. It's probably annoying, but it's going to get better as you get older, and try to learn as much as you can, and that'll help you out.
Yeah.
For the rest of your days. So let us know how it goes. And stay ballsy, my friends.
Yes.
So I think now we've gone to the main event of the show. Let us now look upon our creation, our child. This is our child, OJ.
Gentlemen, behold!
You and I came together in a beautiful moment, and we create a child. That doesn't bother you that I say it like that?
Nope.
That worries me. But
yep.
You're just not you're not allowing me to troll you anywhere, I think. I don't know what's going on. So, Schnoz-man HolePunch episode number 3 has been released. Came out very late on Sunday. We actually filmed the last couple scenes that we needed on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then I edited. I watched WrestleMania. And then I started editing more, and I got it up around 3 a.m., I think, like something like that. And people were watching it, were commenting and at that hour, which is really cool. Of course, it's not that hour everywhere in the world, but
yeah,
I like to think that people stay up all night waiting.
Well, I mean, it's like, what, 8 or 9 a.m. in the UK when it came out?
Yeah. But, very pleased with the reaction to the episode. People really enjoyed it. I hope everyone sticks around for the next ones. The only downside to it, I think, is that we have a lot of ideas for things to be doing. But this is very time-consuming, and it kind of takes over. It kind of dominates everything, you know.
Yeah, well, as long as you save the ideas.
That's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, like, it's not a bad thing. It just means we're going to have content for a long time.
One more idea in the bank.
Yeah, there's like a bank of stuff, and it's just going to... Hopefully people like it, and give me a lot of stuff for a long time. So what I think we're going to do, I'm going to pop the video out and kind of just talk about it as I watch it.
All right, hold on. Wait for me, man.
All right, I'm going to wait for you. Okay.
Unlike some people, I don't have a copy of the video yet, so I have to watch on YouTube.
I'll send it to you tonight.
Thanks.
All right, I'll just start talking. You can jump in.
I got it loaded. Okay.
All right. So the first thing, we kind of talked about this last time, but I noticed a lot of people, and they're like, oh, where are they filming this? And is it this place? Is it that place? The first shot that you see, it's kind of like you can't really make it out that well. So I'm not like faulting you or anything. But Stamford, you see the Stamford. Welcome to Stamford.
The city that works.
The city that works sign. I think this is kind of going to be the intro every time now. So I think it's a cool shot showing the sign. Kind of sets the location. So it's Stamford, Connecticut, the home of WWE.
Yeah.
Ironically enough. And that's where it takes place. That's where HolePunch lives. That's where Schnoz-man has invaded, and Raposa is the the top hero of this city, I guess, right?
Yep.
And what's funny is like a lot of people are like, is this Michigan? Is this or that? And this goes back to like what I say, like how everything's looking the same now. Because they probably see some of these malls and stuff that I'm filming.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it looks just like my town. But like every town's the same now. It's kind of like what the point of this whole thing is in the beginning. How we've basically been taken over by these corporations and made every town look the same, So then I have my little, I'll take little shots at companies here and there. So the first couple words you hear, was it thieves?
Gangsters. Heisters.
No, it's like gangsters.
Thieves.
It's like gangsters.
Mobsters?
No, it's I'll have to watch it now. I can't believe it. I wrote this too.
Looters?
No.
I know the last two are heisters, thieves.
Yeah, I know. Hold on.
Robbers.
Okay, so it's robbers, heisters, thieves.
Yeah.
And I did write this. I don't remember it. But you see GameStop during that, which I think is pretty funny.
The Apple Store made me cringe because I know where that is
Right.
now, and it makes me sick. No offense to Apple, but I know I liked that place back when it was the way it used to be.
Right. I couldn't hear you for a second, then I could hear you again. It's kind of weird.
I'm sorry.
So I don't even know what you just said, but I'm just going to agree with you.
Okay.
And I tried to pick companies that are that basically, I'm not saying they're thieves or anything like that, but it's funny to call them thieves.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You have your GameStop, you have your cell phone companies,
Especially them, yeah.
Yeah, especially them. And I have like a Verizon phone, so I use a lot of some of these stores and stuff. But
Oh, yeah. Verizon here, too.
they all do rip you off.
Yeah, not to mention Cablevision.
Well, we'll get to that. And some of this footage was shot. This is Stanford. And then I shot some of it. I realized we shot some, and then I realized that we didn't have enough to fill the intro. So I went out to the Danbury Mall in Connecticut one day and just started walking around with the camera, filming stores.
Now, what John means by that is he wanted to get he wanted to get some more footage and planned it out perfectly.
Yes. No, it's not really done that well. It's kind of thrown together, but I make it work, I think, in the end. I don't think you're allowed to film in the mall, but I was just doing it, and I was standing right by the security. They didn't care. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to do any of this.
Well,
But it was done.
yes.
What did you think about the shots I took? We didn't talk about that.
They were good. I mean, it was just kind of sad because I just look so. It's just I remember the old Danbury Mall, and I don't like thinking about it now. It looks like the Westchester, and that depresses me.
Yeah, well, it's a different era.
You
had Cablevision, the cable company, of course, thieves, and the news channel.
I got nothing against a news channel. I'm going to tell you that.
Yeah. And then we get our shot of OJ. I think this was the first thing we shot for this episode.
Yeah.
I really like that that starts off with the cape.
Yeah, and it looks like there's a skull formed out of the back of my cape for a while as I go down, when I first go down the steps, and my butt is big.
That's odd.
I'm wearing 2 belts, man. What do you want?
And you're walking down the stairs. Basically, the storyline from last time, if you watched episode 2, is that he falls over Schnoz-man's belongings and cracks his head on the floor. And HolePunch has spent the entire night on the floor, passed out. Wakes up the next morning, immediately just goes out because he knows where he has an idea where these thieves are that he's been tracking.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty cool shot right here in the parking lot. Did a little fancy camera work, moving the zooming.
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
Anything to add about that?
No, I mean, I'm just glad HolePunch didn't fall into a coma from being allowed to go unconscious after hitting his head. And honestly, my favorite shot from this little bit was when I'm looking at the car. When HolePunch is looking at the car with that smirk on his face.
Yeah, you did great. This was like a powerhouse performance. And you're doing a great job. And I think people always comment that OJ's been doing amazing work. We didn't really do a lot of this stuff that many times. You just kind of do it. I think you've become HolePunch at this point.
Well, I think when we were writing him, I kind of tried to tweak things to be more like me in some ways, so it was pretty
I think
easy.
at this point now, 3 episodes down, you basically are Hope. I think, do you go out in the suit and stuff at night now? I mean,
I plead the 5th.
I just feel like you have a really good feel for what you should be doing now as HolePunch.
Thank you. I mean, I try. I mean, I thought a lot about his background. I mean, a lot of stuff hasn't even come up much in the show.
So you have all kinds of background ideas. I don't even know what they are. You're just all of a sudden this is going on now.
I hint at a couple of them in in this episode, actually.
All right, so you see Schnoz-man and he's going through the alcohol. And I'm pretty glad because I don't drink, and I have a pretty strong stance against alcohol. And I thought some guy was gonna be like, John said he doesn't drink and he's drinking in the episode, which no one did, which is really cool. That kind of would have been annoying. But part of doing this whole thing is fun because you get to be a different character.
Exactly.
So you can do anything. And Schnoz-man's pretty unlike me, I think, right? Maybe a little bit like me, but
you're different.
Slightly different than
You're both the same in some ways.
Schnoz-man drinks. And no, I did not actually drink during the episodes.
He's just
the bottle.
Good at sleight of hand.
Either the bottle was covered or I didn't actually ingest it or whatever. And I also felt like it was okay to do it because I'm not presenting alcohol in a positive way.
No, not at all.
So it's not like I'm endorsing it or you're basically showing the character drinking and then he's becoming sick and acting stupid because he's done it. So it's not like I didn't feel like I was doing anything to promote people doing that. So I was cool with it. You have a crazy, shelf there. What's up with that?
What do you mean?
You have a crazy assortment of bottles, man.
Well, you see, the thing is, I don't drink that much, but I like trying different flavors of things. So I end up with like 10,000 half-full bottles, but because I just like a lot of different tastes of a lot of different things.
So then he finds this box. There's this whole bunch of family heirlooms, and basically you see the ribbons there. I was having trouble if we tied like good knots. I was having trouble untying them.
And when we tied bad knots too, for the record, when we tied bad knots too,
I was having a lot of trouble untying the knots because the way I wanted to do it was very fast, like I did with two hands.
Go, whoosh.
So then the way it's tied looks kind of weird, like it doesn't really look tied, but whatever. The famous line.
We did it like 4 or 5 times, and we're just like, forget it, we're undoing them.
Yeah, I was like, screw this. And then, of course, the famous line, family, the hell is that? And then he opens the box, and basically it's HolePunch's family album, and some special, what is this? Some bourbon or something that
was supposed to be really expensive scotch.
That maybe like his father's or something, and it was passed down to him or something.
Yeah, but I didn't want to use my actual expensive scotch, so I used what somebody pointed out in the comments. I'm sorry I forgot who it was, but like, Glenlivet 12-year, that's a pretty good starter scotch for single malt. Like, okay.
Okay, so it's basically like this is what he has left of his family, basically. This scotch or whatever you said it was, I forget.
Yeah,
that was left to him from his father, and a family photo album of all his memories and stuff. Of his parents, who we told you in the last episode. Evil took their lives, and we don't know how yet. We know, but in the episodes, no one knows yet. Evil took the lives of his parents, and this is all that's left. So he finds this and rips into it.
Yeah. Nice guy.
So now we have the whole wagon.
And an amazing song.
Okay, let's talk about the song. The song I put together after we did episode 2. Driving home, I was driving the car and I was thinking about the next episode, and I kind of I pretty much put the song together while driving the car home.
Yeah.
So then I had that in my head, like ride and shit,
Ride, whole wagon ride.
And I had a lot of the stuff I come up with is during the driving, because I drive to Phil's house, which is like an hour away.
Yeah.
Pretty much every week, and then I drive to your house a couple times a month, which is about an hour away. So there's a lot of time just to think about stuff, and pretty much put the song together, driving home, and then I went home and put the chord, the chord progression together, and then that's it. So the whole wagon itself, that is my car.
It's a lot nicer than we make it look, everyone.
It's okay. I mean, I actually really like the car, and I got it. It's a 2000 Saturn, 2000. And I got it a couple years ago because I was in I actually never talked about this. It was kind of funny. I was in a really bad car accident, and the car that I had, which was a Ford Taurus, which was, I think it was like brand new at the time.
Yeah.
it was destroyed. So then I had, I got the accident wasn't my fault, and I got, full value for the car plus extra money and all this stuff. So like, all right, I'm looking for a car, and I went to Saturn, which was still around at the time. They don't even make this car anymore. They don't make Saturns anymore.
No.
And I was like looking at the lot, and I'm like, well, I could pay in cash for a car. And they're like, oh, really? Oh, shit. Okay. And they gave me this car for like basically not much.
Yeah.
And I think at the time it had like 70,000 miles or something, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I was able to get the car, which is a pretty good car, and also like pocket a bunch of money.
There you go.
From the total amount I got from the insurance company. So this is the car that I got, and it started to break down a little bit. You saw the check engine light was on.
Yeah,
that was legit. And OJ was not a happy camper doing this stuff. So why don't you kind of talk about your experience doing it? You were not happy doing this stuff.
I was like, pretty uncomfortable driving around with the it was okay when we were driving around with the license plate covered. That was just
yeah, that was a little weird. That was a little not good. We didn't go far from your place.
No, we barely. We went we drove to the parking lot and back.
Yeah, but basically we covered both license plates with the HolePunch logo.
Yeah,
which is a little shady. We're just driving around, and there's the one shot you're coming down the hill, and there's like cars behind you, and it got a little crazy. And I understand what you were saying because you were like upset and whatever, and you're like, well, you're not supposed to be playing with the car
exactly.
in the street.
That was my argument.
That is true,
Yeah, and you saw how close I got to you when you had that shot where the whole wagon was just driving straight toward you.
When you almost ran me over, you mean?
Twice. The fact you did that take twice was amazing.
So yeah, I think there's one shot there I don't think people caught. It's like you see it's the service engine light is on in the car. It's like close up of the dash.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get that checked out. It's still on right now. I have to get that fixed.
One thing, yeah.
And then OJ just like backing out of the spot like so slow, and I don't understand why. There's nothing behind him for like ever, and he's just so paranoid. It's up there.
Well, I wanted to make it look like HolePunch was inept at driving this car. Like
I don't know if it was that or you just aren't very good at driving. I don't know.
It was a combination of both things. This is the first time I've ever driven this car.
Yeah, well, it's not a hard car to drive.
No, it's got a tighter turning radius than my car.
It's a cool car, man. I really like it. It's a station wagon. I can throw all kinds of stuff in the back.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking at the time that I was big into playing music that I could throw all the equipment in the back, and which I guess could still happen if I do more stuff, but
will still happen.
But some really funny shots, and it took a good amount of time because montages are annoying.
Yeah, well, I gotta say though, I love the fact that we went back to that stupid pond.
What pond?
The pond that thwarts HolePunch at the end of every episode.
Oh, okay.
And now there's a couch in front of it.
All right, hold on. We'll talk about that. But the montages are annoying. You got to do it. You got to do a lot of footage, and they're all like, 5 seconds. It's like 5 seconds clips. You stick together. It takes a long time to edit. I was pretty happy with how it all came out.
Oh yeah.
I was quite pleased with it.
Went very well with the music.
It almost ran me over
Twice.
This is some kind of I don't know what this is, some kind of weird jungle gym thing in the background here, which I thought was funny. I was like, just go in there and drive around. A lot of it was like you drove, like I would sit next to you, drive, and I would run out of the car, and then I'd be like driving a circle or something.
Yeah. Well, you told me at the jungle gym place, get as close to the curb as possible.
Right.
So I went as close to the curb as possible, and then I couldn't get out without backing up.
I don't think people notice you have your glasses on underneath your mask.
Yeah, I mean, I figured HolePunch puts his glasses on to use the computer sometimes and to drive, but he takes them off when he doesn't need them.
And then this shot, we're in this parking lot, and it's the same parking lot at the end where the puddle is, but for some reason someone dumped a couch.
Yeah,
there's a random couch thrown in the middle of the parking lot.
I don't know why.
So I'm like, oh, we're gonna do something with this. We're gonna pretend like you're gonna, it's blocking your way, and then we're filming that. And a cop comes into the parking lot,
and I'm like, okay, I think we're done.
I'm like,
here.
you're having to remove removing the back license plate cover now.
Yep.
I don't know why this couch was here. No one said anything about the couch in the comments.
No, I'm surprised. Like, you don't, like, did you guys bring that couch out of your house and put it over there? I was expecting that.
There's just so much stuff in the episode, I think it's hard to, maybe it gets lost. The details are lost sometimes.
Well, that's fine. I mean, it happened. There's so much going on.
Well, I think it was way cool, and you stuck your arm out the window and...
Dang kids!
Shook your arm all upset.
Yeah.
So then we got you doing the stuff with the binoculars, this Vigilantes, which is an actual place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we found it, or you recommended it, I think.
Well, I mentioned, there's this place called Vigilantes. I didn't realize it had graffiti.
Yeah.
And I've heard it's actually a really nice restaurant.
We go to it, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me! It's called Vigilantes, which is awesome.
It's just perfect.
It's got a wall next to it, graffiti all over it. And the place looks shady.
I heard it was good. Whatever.
Like, we couldn't have set up a better spot for what this was supposed to be. So, of course, that's the restaurant where HolePunch was taken as a kid. His parents took him there, and he remembers it because all they had was water and cheap Italian-made fortune cookies. It tasted like garlic powder
and cardboard.
So, that's what he tasted when he found the fortune cookie in episode 2, and he kind of went to this place, and he's like, this has got to be the place where these people are. It was obviously a front for illegal activity all this time.
Yeah.
So I'm checking it out. Got a monologue.
Yeah, they're going back and forth a little bit.
You like doing the monologues?
Oh, they're fun, man.
Good stuff.
Well, also, if I ever have to do another, what's the word, audition, instead of using the Scrubs monologue I was using, I can use one of these.
You fight me a little bit. You don't like my grammar sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, it's not...
Sometimes you don't like how I structure my sentences.
Sometimes I think maybe a little restructuring might help it parse properly.
The way I look at it, though, is like the way I write it is like how someone would... Because the way someone speaks isn't necessarily how it should be written.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But every now and then...
Think about the sentence I just said. You can't write that. It would be horrible.
No, what I'm saying is every now and then I'm trying to read it and say it, and it's not parsing into something I can understand. Like, I have to switch it up a little bit.
It's different between the person that reads and the person that, writes and understands it better, obviously.
Well, that, and I get the impression that HolePunch is kind of, I don't know, maybe a little snooty. Not snooty, but, well, not so much snooty, but he's a little proper,
Yeah.
He's a little you can tell he's a little uptight.
Well, it's cool that you suggest things because you don't want to make it sound like this dude, the way this dude speaks. And then when you do other characters, they should be all different.
Yes.
So if I write all the dialogue, that it might sound all the same. So it's cool that you could come in and put other things in there.
Well, I like when we're doing brainstorming stuff.
Differentiate between the characters better,
Yeah.
That's why when I did Schnoz-man's monologue, I tried to make it very, very simple.
I love Schnoz-man's
HolePunch's monologues are very he's going all over the place, and he basically HolePunch overthinks everything.
Yeah.
So Schnoz-man's most basic of thoughts. Food. I want that. It's very simple.
Food, porn. That's all I need.
So here's the scene where Schnoz-man's going through the photo album.
Mm-hmm.
And this was really cool. We got a bunch of these pictures and printed them, and you drew these drawings, right?
Yeah.
And it's basically like HolePunch's drawings when he was a child.
Yeah, he's drawing his father, him doing science, and his Halloween costume.
His Halloween costume, which is very similar to what he eventually wore, when he became HolePunch.
A little different, but yeah.
So he always kind of had this. He always kind of had this idea of what he would look like, and then, we'll get to that point. But he became that character. He had to,
Yeah, I just wish you can't really see, but his emblem is just a smiley face. It looks like a pumpkin.
And then you see the final page, which is funeral shots. You see the flowers. You see the pallbearers and the casket, the tombstone, and then a shot of a young HolePunch just depressed, staring out the window.
Yeah, we don't know who took that shot or why anyone would give it to him, but
someone took the shot and he decided to keep it,
like his uncle or something.
and Schnoz-man's just being obnoxious and laughing at HolePunch's, horrible situation.
This is hilarious.
It's just hilarious, yes. And eventually vomits all over the book because he drank too much. The vomit, we did it a few times. We did it, I think we did the first time, and it was just like, what was it, paint and something? What was it?
Paint and water.
That was it?
Yep.
It didn't really work that well, and I was like, I wasn't happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we went back to the drawing board, and then we came up with paint, water, and oatmeal.
And cornstarch, and I put in 1 or 2 almonds just because I felt like it.
So you give it like a lot of texture, and you still have that blueness with the paint.
Yeah, I tested it out actually with orange paint first, and then I sent you a video saying, "Hey, how's this look?"
But then I was like, we got to add more water to it.
Yeah, so I added some more water.
And I was very happy with how it came out. I don't know if I told you that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it just looks great, and we did it. We put it in, we put it all inside of a cardboard box.
Yeah, so we just splattered it everywhere.
And the first time we did it with the same book. But we just turned the page.
Yeah. I just took the pictures out and moved them.
Yeah.
You can kind of see a little bit of blue on a couple of the pictures, but
that's all right.
I gotta say, like, I love doing stuff like that. Like, I loved putting my costume together, putting together the vomit, like stuff like that, where I can get creative and just build something. I like that a lot.
Yeah, you're all about the arts and crafts, man. You do a good job with that.
Thank you. We'll talk about that a little bit later too.
So I was way happy with the vomit. It was very good. I thought it was very funny. Now we got HolePunch in the bush.
Ugh. That scene was a nightmare.
Well, the problem was it was the same bush, but I was trying to hit him from a different angle, and it was stupid of me to do that because he had to basically like go inside the bush, and you were very upset.
The thing's snapping behind me. I'm scared I'm gonna get kicked out of my apartment for breaking stuff. I have bad knees. And my knees I'm in physical pain this entire scene. And I had to stay there in place for like a minute or two without moving. So
then I'm like, wait a second, why don't we just turn the camera? And then we had a much better shot.
Yeah, it still hurt, though. I'm like actually leaning on the plunger for support to keep some of the weight off of my knees.
And I thought it was great. We basically just put the camera on you and had you do a bunch of different facial stuff.
Yeah.
So like jump out or just look puzzled or and then I just kind of cherry picked the stuff that I wanted to use for for that. So
now,
really good, man. Really happy with that.
Yeah. Well, I must say, if any of you have seen Evil Dead 1, that's kind of how I felt. If you're fans of something positive, you'll also know how I felt because that tree was rather invasive.
Really?
It was poking me everywhere, dude. I'm glad I had a cape and like.
You got to be a man, dude. Break those branches off. It's poking you like that.
Hey!
You don't let a tree dominate you.
Hey, I did it, man. I did that scene. I complained a bit, but I did it.
All right, so these are the Ninja Italians, and I'll let you talk about it. I'm going to talk about the storyline. Basically, they're Italian ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
They were stealing appliances from all over Stamford. They plagued the city, stealing these things, and HolePunch found the fortune cookie, realized that it had something to do with this Italian restaurant, and there's Italian ninjas that are unloading their merchandise. Why don't you talk a little about this whole thing?
All right, so I guess we were trying to figure out who could be the villains, and I think we just came across Fortune Cookie. Like, okay, well, who could be a good villain with a fortune cookie? And for some reason I thought, well, ninjas makes no sense. And then I thought, Italian ninjas, Ninja Italians. And so they're actually played by 2 of my friends. Now, what I thought was cool was Eric had monk's robes, and he's actually using my Dan Hibiki black belt.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. Like I showed up at your house, and these guys were all ready to roll, and I was like, "Oh my god!" But I couldn't believe it.
We don't mess around, dude. We got this.
I was like, "Wow, this guy's got a whole suit."
Yep.
Got logos and everything. I was like, "Wow, okay."
Yeah, I built forehead protectors a la Naruto with the Italian flag. A couple times they had them upside down, and it was the Irish flag. So they were almost ninja Irish, but
right.
The headpiece, I think, came out surprisingly well for both of them, especially on the shorter ninja, because it looks like it's some sort of cloak or covering thing instead of just going down the shirt. It's actually a t-shirt. They're both t-shirt ninja during this scene, And all those appliances there that you see them kicking around, I actually have. It's the microphone we use to record it.
Mm-hmm.
My vacuum thermos bento box, a fan, receipt scanner, Xbox 360, scale, rice cooker, ice cream maker, PlayStation 3, and I think like there's one box under the PS3 that you can't really see.
I don't know what we would have done if you didn't have all these boxes. I don't know what we would have done. So it's bizarre that you have so many boxes in your house.
Dude,
like, why would you need them? But it all worked out for some reason.
I know this stuff's going to come in handy sometime. That, and when I move, I like to pack things up in the boxes for safety.
You had so many, like all the boxes of everything, so...
Yeah, it makes moving a pain, though.
Really worked really well, and your friends did a good job. I gave them, like, very little direction. I was just kind of pass them the box.
Eric and Kristen had a ball with it, man.
They were great, man.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if they were going to take the headbands home, but they left them, and I was like, yay! Or, I guess I could have kept them. Oh, well.
Going on eBay.
Now I bought them ice cream, whatever.
So then what happens is Raposa, the one who slices the balls...
Yes.
He appears. Basically what happened is...
A wild Raposa appears.
We saw Raposa and HolePunch last episode, and Raposa questioned, what is this? He saw the fortune cookie and knew HolePunch was onto something. And he basically followed HolePunch to this place. While HolePunch is thinking about how he could take these ninjas out and capture his first criminal, Raposa runs in, and he steals the kill, I guess you could say, right?
Kill steal.
Kill steal. And a little sound effect action here.
Yep.
And I was just so proud of everybody, man. We have Howard and his girlfriend Jasmine came in to help us. And then there's my friend Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin's...
We've spoken about him a lot. He is the guy that was in all of the games, the series stuff that... Mm-hmm. He's in most of those episodes with where we play classic games. That's him. He's the tall gentleman with the hat. So these guys came in, and I couldn't believe how great a job everybody did. Okay, especially we got Jasmine, because I didn't think she was going to be like into doing it. Comes in. Not only does she have perfect reactions, she's never done acting before. Okay. Never done any of this stuff before. Perfect reactions to what is going on, what Raposa's saying, and the way she's moving and like nodding and laughing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not only that, improvs lines.
Mm-hmm. The credit card
the whole thing where she goes, "Oh, do you take credit and all that?" She threw that in there herself, and she just did an amazing job. Really happy. And then Howard killed it, and Kevin never did any acting before, and he was really good.
Yeah, he improved the camera stuff too.
He has a couple ideas. He's the one who's like, "Oh, have Raposa kick the boxes over."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, do the here's the bush where OJ can go in the bush." So he did a lot of good stuff like that. And your friends the ninjas are laying down on the floor.
They were there for like 10, 15 minutes.
They're back there. We only did do this whole shot like 3 times maybe.
Yeah.
Because they were just killing it, man. And Andre's just a monster as Raposa. I mean, like the way he moves and the way he laughed at you, and you see his face and the way Howard reacted to it, it was great, man. It was thrilling to me because I wrote it, and I direct, kind of like give everyone a little bit of direction, and then you see him just do it, like perform it, and it's like so good.
Just came together. It's
so good, man. Basically, whatever was in my head, they just took and made it happen. So. I think all these guys,
Yeah, it was just really cool people to work with, and just like it went so smoothly. I was shocked.
And again, we couldn't have done it without them. So
nope,
really nice. So they got HolePunch going into the whole wagon, which will now not start.
Yeah, after you see Schnoz-man vomit again.
Oh yeah. Okay, that was a cool shot too because it's all like a silhouette.
Yeah. Which we totally did on purpose.
It just looked really good.
Yeah.
So HolePunch.
So sad.
He cannot start the whole wagon. He has to walk. And we don't get the Schnoz-man monologue, which we kind of talked about. And just wanted to make it very different from HolePunch's monologues, where he's overly complicated in his thoughts, and Schnoz-man's very simple in what he wants.
Yeah.
And Whole bunch walking.
Oh gosh, yeah, this was pretty funny.
It's kind of annoying to film because I basically took you way down the street, dropped you off in the car. Then I drove all the way back somewhere else, and then would get out with all the equipment and then set up and then film you as people driving by were beeping and being stupid.
Oh yeah, people were beeping. Like, I didn't know if you had the sound on. If so, because one of the cars honked at me and I like stuttered. I like sidestepped. Like, what?
I don't know what's going on with Stanford where you live, but like everyone wants to be on camera in that town.
Yeah.
So you talked about the woman with the dog.
In
episode 1 where she just walks into the shot and goes, "Oh hey, he wants to be in the movie." And then what happened with this? Like I'm out there filming John walking down the street or walking up the street, and this dude comes over to me. "Hey, you're filming?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I do stuff on YouTube too." He's just having a whole conversation with me.
Cool guy.
Like, how did he know? How did he know I wasn't doing audio? You know, like it was so weird. But I ended up talking to this guy for like 15 minutes as John's walking up the street.
Yeah, I'm not even looking up. Like, I don't see this. Because basically, I'm thinking HolePunch is just beaten down, broken, exhausted. He's staring at his feet. He's shuffling across the sidewalk.
Right. So then you get to where I'm, and I'm just having a conversation with somebody. Like, "Did you film?" I was like, "Yep."
Like, were you done? Because I could have gone faster.
No, it was funny, and well, I knew it was too much. I knew it was extra footage. All I needed was like 10 seconds, you know. And it was like 6 minutes, I think.
I know, it took forever.
But that was cool. And I like Schnoz-man vomits and immediately starts drinking again.
Yeah. Classy.
He's kind of a classy guy.
Yup.
I think Schnoz-man got some good stuff in this episode.
Oh, I'd agree.
Someone told me there's like some people are like, we know more about Raposa than Schnoz-man. And Schnoz-man's is basically one of the main characters, you know.
Yeah.
So, I think you'll learn more about him as we progress.
Well, the monologue should help you get a little bit more about his character.
He's still very mysterious, though.
Mm-hmm.
Where did he come from? You know, what's his intentions? You know, it's very cloudy. And then you see HolePunch. He comes home. There's a lot of details in there. I don't know if everyone got. He basically says, and then when he's in the car would start. He says, "I left my phone at home."
Yeah.
And then of course Schnoz-man's on his phone, calling the sex hotline or whatever. And what are you wearing? A purple cape and a red mask. What are you wearing?
Yeah, and the phone has the HolePunch logo.
Right. And then HolePunch is looking around the room. He sees the photo album completely covered in the blue mucus, which is basically what he vomits out. This is what his body produces, his blue liquid. You can shoot it out his nose. Is his power, I guess, right?
Yeah, and you see, and we threw that chair out, by the way.
Yeah, the camera was a little out of focus for that.
I think that works though.
And you see a chair. He vomited all over this chair, over the table.
The oats just hanging to the back.
He vomited all over the couch, but we didn't show that because we didn't want to cover the couch and get stained.
Yeah.
And then a whole bunch of sees all this stuff.
And he face palms like, "Oh, what am I?"
Touches his head. Yeah, he's like, "I can't believe this." For the first time, he hasn't noticed this yet. For over 2 episodes, the blue stuff is still on his face. Sees it on his hands, loses it, completely loses his mind. And then OJ, the insane actor that he is, one shot, one take for this. Seriously, right?
Yeah, it was one take. I'm pretty sure.
One take, and you think about what you had to do here. It wasn't just like you had to get all the lines done, which you did. Put it forth in a convincing fashion that you're very upset, which you did perfectly, while holding the mail and making little pieces of the mail fall at a time until you're left with just the packet.
Yeah. I was scared I was going to throw the packet and hit the camera or something.
And honestly, I didn't really like my face during this because I didn't think you were going to do it. What I wanted to do was a little different in my movements and stuff.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure if you were actually going for it all. I thought maybe we were just going to feel it out. Well, the man just does the whole thing, and I'm like, okay, well, that's what we're using.
Yeah.
That was really great, you know.
Thanks. Yeah. No, well, we were running low on battery too, so.
Yeah, I'd be like, 10 minutes, and then basically he's waving the mail around. He's yelling at him, and he tells him that he only kept him around. He realized why he let him stay there. He thought he was a hero at first, so, I'll let you stay. Realizes he's not a hero. And he needs someone, he needs a roommate to pay the rent. No one else applies, so he goes, well, I'll let him stay. Maybe he will actually pay me. I'll put up with his garbage. Maybe he will actually pay me at some point so I can stay here. But he never pays him. They're both going to be kicked out eventually, soon.
Yeah, the mortgage is going to go under, and then he won't be able to pay for it anymore.
So this was like the breaking point. It's basically telling Schnoz-man, you're done.
Yeah.
Screw you, But then he notices in his own hand is this packet.
A mysterious packet.
Which I guess he had some idea what it's supposed to look like because he kind of knew.
Yeah.
So I guess he's heard stories or whatever, how it comes or what it is. And of course, it is the acceptance letter from the Committee on Admissions, the Justice League, sent by Aquaman, who's in charge of hiring heroes, I guess.
Yeah.
And Aquaman's voice was done by John Patrick Lowry.
Who is amazing.
Who was the voice of the Sniper, Team Fortress 2, and a million other games. Probably one of the top people in the voice acting business, for video games. And he's nice enough to help us out with this. We had some hurdles to go. It wasn't just like... I basically asked his agent, and they're like, yeah, that's, he would like to do it, but he's part of the Screen Actors Guild. Mm-hmm. So we had to jump through a bunch of hoops and get, figure out how we could get him in there, or how he'd be allowed to work with us and stuff. And we figured it out, and we got it done. So that was really cool, man. And definitely added a certain class to the episode, I think.
Oh, certainly.
What do you have to say about it?
I'm just super glad that we got to work with him because
it was great, man. Because he basically met me on Skype one day.
Yeah. And
then I gave him the script, and it was cool because I was basically hiring a real actor, and giving him instruction and stuff, and it was like, oh wow, it was cool,
Yeah, it's just amazing that this guy's legit, man. He's done voices for Sherlock Holmes,
right.
And he's doing Aquaman for us.
He's done plays and basically every type of acting there is,
Yeah, I gotta again say thank you, John, so much for doing a lot of. He did all the legwork for dealing with all these people to get this, to be legit and happen.
Yeah, there's certain criteria you have to meet to. Maybe someday we'll talk about it. It honestly would take me about an hour to go through it all. There's certain criteria you have to meet to have someone that's a part of the union to work on your project. And there's a couple things we had to do and some things we had to sign and things like that.
Oh my gosh, I had to sign some really scary paperwork.
So I signed all kinds of different agreements and stuff. And it was really, we're just gonna, he wants to do it. We're just gonna talk to him for 10 minutes on Skype to record it. And they're like, no, you have to do this. This is how it is. And
he talked to us for
they were all
an
nice
hour.
people, I have to say. The process was annoying, but they all were very nice. And I found myself, having to call Seattle and LA and have these conversations about, hiring an actor and stuff. And it was. I think it was good for us in the long run because we kind of know the process now. So.
Oh yeah. So if we have to do this again, we can work with the same people or see if there's a similar group that's cheaper. They're all really nice, though. They were really
they were all nice. Just the process was a little annoying, but they helped. They wanted us to get it done and they helped us out.
Yeah, and they got us to seriously. It was a week? That's probably unheard of. We got this done in a week.
Yeah,
we got through 3 different organizations, got it recorded, got the checkout within a week.
And he's a pro. He got on the call with me, and I was recording, and he's like, "What dialect would you like? And how would you like me to do this?" And I was like, "Well, okay." He was really good, helping us out. So.
Oh yeah.
Basically, HolePunch gets the acceptance letter to the Justice League, so he has a terrible day, and then he gets this letter in the end, and he's way happy.
It's what he's always wanted.
So. That was his lifelong dream, as he mentioned in some of the other episodes, to be part of the Justice League. That's what it was all about for him. It looks like he's getting it.
Yeah, he's so happy. Although it took me a while. It took a couple takes to get his face right, though.
Yeah, it's always hard, but
I had a couple where I looked stunned, somewhere I looked scared, all kinds.
Yeah. So that was that for the episode, man.
Yeah, that was... Whew.
And the editing wasn't too bad because I did it over a course of like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, dude.
Instead of doing it in one night.
Yeah, you got some sleep while it was getting done. It was amazing.
We took our time filming it, too. We did some stuff over that we didn't feel was good. And there's not too much in there that I would really complain about as far as, like, this look bad or anything. I mean, so.
Oh, it was good times.
I really enjoyed it.
Me too.
Again, you did a great job.
As did you. Thank you.
And Howard and Kevin and Jasmine.
Eric and Kristen.
Those guys just killed it. I mean, they couldn't have done any better. It was just really good, so.
Amazing.
That is that, and I think, well, we talked about this last time, but last time we talked about Schnoz-man HolePunch. But I think we're going to try to get more episode out this month. Or early May, or late April, early May. And then we're going to do kind of approach filming differently. And I would like to do, what we're doing now is we're filming one episode at a time, which is kind of just takes a long time to do that.
It's not efficient.
So I think what we're going to do is film. We're going to do 8 episodes for season 1. So the final 4 episodes will all be filmed, then edited, and then we're going to release them, like after they're done.
Yeah.
And then we could do like one every 2 weeks.
I think. Yeah, that would be good.
Instead of having people wait so long, it'll be like definitely like every 2 weeks will be a new episode.
Bam, bam, bam.
Or maybe every week. I don't know. Let's figure it out. What people want to do.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks is a good time though.
Yeah. So that's it. Do you have anything else to say about this year?
I want to say, thank you all for the support you've been giving us for this. The just outpouring of positivity, the comments, emails, everything. Thank you guys so much for everything you've been sending us and for liking the show so much. We put a lot of ourselves into it, and we're really happy to see that you guys are enjoying it as much as we are.
So about making people laugh a little bit. Hopefully people laugh.
We want to brighten your day.
Yes. That is correct, and conquer the universe as well.
Yeah, nothing brightens a day like a giant missile.
Isn't it funny that the shows where we don't have guests are the longest ones?
Yeah, I think the guests are pretty good at making us stop talking, but...
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. When we have no guests, we just keep going forever.
Yeah.
We have someone else on with us. They eventually want to stop talking to us, and they go. But I guess that'll do it for the show, man.
All right, yeah,
So you have fun at PAX, and then
thank you, sir.
Next week you'll let us know how PAX went.
Yep.
We will have a new guest next week. We're excited about this one.
Yeah.
I'm excited for all the guests, but this one's very exciting. So that is it. That is the end. We will return next Friday, our usual time. For OJ, this is John signing off. Thank you for listening to John Rambo Presents the best in free and optional entertainment. Goodbye.